All right, Larry, it's summer. What are you seeing? It's quiet, I think, for most of us.
Oh, it has. Honestly, I've had a fairly active summer so far. Real estate's been pretty good. I can't complain, but it's a lot of stuff that I've been working on a long time. So it's
Yeah.
good to see some of that stuff come to fruition. It certainly hasn't been a lot of new stuff. Market in general out there has been fairly flat to stagnant. I won't say we've seen any major shifts again. Again, we keep using the word status quo. I think we're still kicking around the same averages. Up and down depending where you are.
Yeah.
Oakville's got their pricing down, sales are up. Toronto's got pricing up, sales down. Hamilton's, so it depends where you look. It's all over the place. Try and dive in the neighborhoods. It's even more diluted, or I guess not diluted, but narrow. Market's all over the place, man.
Yeah.
But if you look at it as a whole, I'd be more in line with we're still status quo. The market hasn't changed a
Relatively
lot.
flat.
I don't see real estate being a driver and moving anything out there today. I still say the same thing I say month over month is that this is economic trends. Big Brother to the south continues to keep the thumb on us, and that continues to put pressure on our overall economy, which drives everything. People can't be secure in having a job, then they're not going to be secure running out to buy a house.
Right.
So nothing's changed in those remarks. Kuzma came and went and didn't get renewed, so proof will be in the pudding, I guess. So wait and see what happens.
Well, it's probably a couple of years of like what we're seeing today. I think we're a good 2 years of the same.
I think you're optimistic, but I hope the same.
But
I hope to see things change. But you know, John, one of the things we keep talking about is buyers and sellers jumping into the market when it's right for them.
yes.
I think a lot of, and I'll say sellers. I mean, buyers are looking. It plays both sides. I think sellers who are waiting for the market to come back. Every month that goes by, we're seeing that number tick down a little bit again every month, and I think it's going to be hard to get it back up to where it was. So I think people got to start resetting that or recalibrating that expectation of numbers and decide what's right for them. From the buyer side, I see a lot of buyers out there that are waiting for a number to come down, and while they're waiting, somebody swoops in and steals their deal. Gets
Yeah.
the house they want at the price that they would have paid, and they missed out. So you can't wait too long. The famous hockey quote by Wayne Gretzky: "You miss 100% of the shots you don't take." Unfortunately, there's some people out there that are not taking shots and they're losing out. They're not winning.
Well, and the thing is, there's this idea that the market is really soft and it's really quiet and nothing is happening. That
Couldn't be
nothing
further from
is
the truth.
Yeah, it's not true. Things are happening. Houses are selling. I mean, we're just looking at data, 31 houses in Dundas, 2,500 in Toronto. That's a lot of sales. I think it was 650 in Hamilton. Um, is there an argument that maybe those numbers are a little bit less than some previous highs? Of course. But those numbers are not zero. Houses are still selling, and I think there's some opportunity out there. In fact, I know there's opportunity. We both know that.
Yeah.
And so for those buyers who are sitting around kind of going, well, maybe we could get this one at that price. Well, you're not going to know if you don't try.
No, you're not. Same for
And
the sellers. Well,
yeah.
we don't want to sell because of this, and then all of a sudden the price is another, 5% lower.
Hmm.
Um, you're leaving it out there hoping it's going to come back, and it's going in the opposite direction. And the reality of the matter is, right now across the region, the greater Toronto Hamilton region, 1 in 4 homes is selling every month. That
Yeah.
means if you're living in a neighborhood that you've got people on the street listed, one of those 4 houses will be sold by the time we get to August.
Yeah. And last month, using Dundas as an example, we just talked about 31 sales. That was about 40%
Yeah,
of the
because there was
available
only
listings.
85 listings in all of Dundas.
So, to get, if you're a seller thinking that, oh, this is a bad time, things aren't happening, it's the wrong attitude. Things are happening, price it right, present it right. If you've got something
I think,
special, let's
John, the
talk about how we
conversation
market
people,
it and get it done.
yeah. Well, I think the conversation people need to consider beyond what the market is doing is what is my market doing?
Yeah.
What homes are listed in my market that are not selling, and why are they not selling compared to the homes that are selling?
Hmm.
Why did X house sell over Y house?
Hmm.
And where does my house fit in amongst those that sold versus those that are still on the market? That'll help you have a better idea of what your potential is out there on the market. If you're in the category, and Dundas is a great example because Dundas has a lot of custom homes in the area. It's not a cookie cutter town where every house was built by a man individual type homes. And you know, if you've got a stronger demand for those type homes versus cookie cutter homes in newer subdivisions, and those subdivision homes are sitting, and you own more of a custom home, then you're going to be in that 31 sales and not the other ones that are sitting still on the market because you have something unique people are looking for. But you got to understand what's happening in your market before you decide whether or not it's the market you want to play in.
Oh, for sure. And the thing is, when you do this for a living, you and I, we go through houses every day. We're analyzing data every day. We're analyzing listings every day. there's usually with our insight, the ability to very quickly and easily look to see, why didn't one sell?
Yeah.
And why did this other one sell? It's not always apparent to others, but chances are we can dive into it and figure it out for you. And if you're wondering how you stack up, like, the conversation should be starting early. It doesn't mean you're listing next week. It's a
Look, I
strategy and it's a process.
an exact example of that would be I had a client last week that we've had ongoing conversations about when to list their property, and there's three homes for sale in their neighborhood.
Hmm.
So last week I booked the preview on all three of those homes, and I went and did a walkthrough in those three homes, and then I went to visit my clients, and I walked through their home again, and I could give them direct comparables of the ones that are listed and their home and where they stack up and where they would struggle versus where they were strong. And then we were able to sit down and look at the last couple of sales and do the same analysis based on the what we can see of the ones that sold, and be able to tell them, if you want that price, you got to be in this column. You got to be different here than these because these are not getting your number or these are not getting sold, and they have the same as you versus these that you have a unique feature compared to those. And I guess it's a bit
Hmm.
convoluted how I described it, but at the end of the day, what we're trying to do is give them direct comparables to what's actually seeing activity versus what's sitting out there.
And that's something we can easily do.
Yeah, and again, one of the things that we talk about a lot is, you bring up a lot is price and presentation. They're definitely key factors, but they're key factors based on a lot of different attributes that play to that feature,
Yeah,
right? You don't have to be the lowest price in the neighborhood if you got the best features and benefits.
right. Yeah, no, it's entirely tailored to what you have. I think
Absolutely.
well, I won't
Now,
say it goes without saying. It definitely needs to be said, frankly, because when you look at comparable listings, that it's evident that not everybody got it right.
yep. Now, the flip side to that is, I mean, not every house is going to sell, and not every price is going to be what your expectation is. I mean, if you're still measuring off of 2022 numbers, we're not going to get you there, no matter what features and benefits you have.
No,
It's just
no.
not happening. I mean, I live in Joshua Creek in Oakville, where we were selling on an average of 2.8 million per home in 2022. That was our average, 2.8,
Yeah.
and that price point's dropped down now closer to 2.2. That's a
Hmm.
$600,000 deficit in 4 years,
That's
and
huge.
you don't have enough features and benefits to make up that $600,000 swing because the
No.
ones that are selling at the average of 2.2 today, they have the same features and benefits of the ones that were getting the
Right.
2.8 back then.
Yeah.
That's not a features and benefits issue. That's a time issue.
Yeah.
Now, flip it the other way and say, okay, when am I going to get back to 2.8? I don't have a crystal ball here anywhere. I
No.
can't tell you that. And honestly, from an economic perspective, I have huge reservations about us getting back to that price point again anywhere in the near future. And I mean like 5 years, 10 years.
I think it's highly improbable, frankly, that in the short term we should expect the numbers that we saw 4 years ago. It's not realistic. You have to work with the market you've got, and the market
And the
we've
tools
got,
you have.
well, yeah, and the
We
market we
still have a
have, and
stress test.
yeah.
We have not a foreign buyer's tax, which we still have, by the way, but we have an
Hmm.
outright foreign buyer's ban. And
Hmm.
we have a decline. We had a declining population last year for the first time in 2 decades, but we have a
Yeah.
declining immigration.
Yeah.
So if those three factors alone, when they come into play, stress test, which means today you got to qualify somewhere around 6.25 to 6.5% for a mortgage, foreign buyers ban, and no immigration. How are you going to put your price up?
Hmm.
Oh, and then you got the whole thing going on with the U.S. with the economy.
And that's a big one. That's a
Yeah.
really big one. But you
Well,
know
it's
what? I think
domestically, it's hurting us.
it is a big time, and the immigration thing you mentioned that's one where and maybe in some ways it's helpful. In other ways, it's not helping if you're looking to sustain pricing of days gone by. That it's a reduced buyer pool, so it is
From a
what it
buyer's
is.
perspective, the government's trying to bring down the cost of living, cost of housing. I don't think that anybody doubts that at all. The government's trying to correct the problem the government created. So from a buyer perspective, it's all good news, man. Prices are coming down, and that's what buyers want to see. From a seller's perspective, prices are coming down, but it's not what they want to see. Unfortunately, we just don't know where the brakes are going to be, where that floor is going to be, and if it'll actually reverse and go back the other way.
Yeah.
So making your decisions based on those factors um, don't necessarily pay off in the long run.
Well, to kind of wrap it up a little bit, I think one of the things we could probably highlight out of today's chat is the idea of working with the market that you got,
Mm-hmm.
and working around the market that's best, or the needs that are best for you, and recognizing that while there may be some negative headlines, things are still happening. You're going to get it done. You're just not going to get it done from 2022 price.
That's it.
So
I agree.
yeah.
So, I mean, and that's from a seller side, from a buyer side,
Well,
especially if
that's a
they're paying
good.
rent today. I mean, I want to think about people out there that are renting,
Yeah.
thinking they're going to wait for prices to come down. You have a double-edged sword here. Not only are you waiting, hoping the prices are going to come down, you're paying the differential to get there. So you're not
Yeah.
going to be any farther ahead when you get there, anyways, because you'll have paid off
No.
more of your landlord's rent.
And chances are the rent you're paying was a number that was derived from expenses on previously higher priced property.
Yeah. So a lot of things to consider out there. I certainly don't want to push anybody into a market that they do not feel they need or want to participate in. But if you're on the fence and you keep thinking about, I want to get to the next stage of my life, don't let this market deter you from moving forward with your plans, man. I mean, real
There's
estate
opportunity
is,
out there. There's no
there
question.
is, like you said, 31 homes sold in Dundas, 2,500 homes sold in Toronto. I think 283 sold in Oakville, 649 sold in Hamilton. A lot of homes sell every
Yeah.
day. Houses sell. Um, it's just a matter: is it going to be where you fit, or do you fit into that market? So
Hmm.
um, make sure you're making your decisions based on what's best for you, and because that's the only thing that matters at the end of the day.
Well, and we're coming up, where are we July 13th, we're recording this video. Mid-July, next month is one of the slowest months of the year historically for us.
Yep.
And I think that just speaks more to the opportunity for buyers. I mean, sellers aren't going to want to hear that as much. They might wait for September, but there's no guarantee in that either, right?
Well,
I
we
think
haven't
you
had a
work with
pop.
the
The
market
last
you got.
two fall markets have been flat
Yeah,
completely. We came out of August thinking that we were going to get an uptick in September, and
never happened.
nothing happened. So I'd rather plan to follow the same trend and be surprised than anticipate and be disappointed.
I think so, and I think you focus on the data you have today and you work with that.
End of the day, man. Like I said, I had a fairly good June, July so far. I've been quite happy with what I've been working with. There have been some listings that I've been and some buyers that I've been working with for a long time, so it was nice to bring some closure to those. But overall, I'm just helping buyers and sellers that are wanting to move forward in the market, and those that don't, I'm giving them all the advice and any information they want. I'm doing my best to help them, but I'm certainly not pushing somebody to do something they're not comfortable with. I want people to
Yeah.
do what's right by them, and that's what we're here to do: help support their decisions, and sometimes it's to help them get out of their own way so they can make the right decision for themselves, whether that's to stay or go.
Well, and you know what, the data's all out there. It's helping them through that decision. It's a difficult decision in the best of times. So when things are
It's still the
challenging,
biggest financial
yeah,
decision most people ever make.
when things are market conditions are more challenging, it just makes that decision even more difficult. And that's
Absolutely.
where we're here to help with.
Yep. So I suspect our meeting, or our next month's meeting, will be quite similar to this one. I expect more downtrend because July is, like you said, well, we're halfway through it, but it's been pretty slow so far. And
Yeah,
August is, I think, the second slowest month of the year behind December. So
yeah,
I'm not expecting anything major to happen unless the Bank of Canada does Christmas in July with a 2% rate
they,
reduction, which I don't
they
foresee.
won't.
So I think status quo, man. That is the word of the
Yeah.
year, status quo.
So anyway, well, on that note, let's see how the month finishes out, and we'll talk next month.
All right, man. Sounds like a plan. Keep
All
going.
right,
Enjoy your summer.
you too. See ya.